What's up? It's your boy, the Geeky Gangster here from you guys today with another video. And guys, it is currently the World Cup and we are representing all 48 nations in the World Cup. And in today's video, we're going to be representing Paraguay. I just noticed I forgot to do the wheels on this. That's my bad, guys. Shoot. Wheels, wheels, wheels. Maybe I did do wheels, I don't know. But we should have like white wheels, right? Oh my gosh, how embarrassing. Let's just stick with these. Let's just get right into the game and right into the epic facts about Paraguay. If you guys don't know how this works, basically, if we win this game, Paraguay will win their first in real life group stage game. If we go into overtime in this game, the game in real life will end in a draw, and if we lose, that means unfortunately Paraguay will lose in real life. This made a cute time, 21 seconds, dude. It's been taking forever to put me into games lately for whatever reason. Dude, okay, joining. I don't want to get into the facts before we get into an actual game, because I feel like the facts, especially with Paraguay, there's not a whole lot to talk about. So it's kind of good to start them after the game starts. That way, it's just like it's better for the time and for dead air going forward. So Paraguay is a landlocked nation in South America, with a population of about 7.5 million. And their population is actually very interesting, because they have a history that's quite unique and different to basically every other nation's population on Earth. For example, they are the most bilingual nation currently on Earth, and that's because over 90% of people in Paraguay still speak their native language. Unfortunately, the opposing nation has scored a goal on us, dude. I feel like my teammates bumped me there, and that sort of just led the way. We got tripped up, and that led the way for an opposing nation goal. So yeah, 90% of people in Paraguay still speak their native language, but 100% of people also speak Spanish, making it by far the most bilingual nation on Earth. Unfortunately, the opposing nation has scored another goal. Paraguay is down 2-0. Oh, dude, I gave them that, bro. That was what, right in. But lots of time to, come back. We haven't even played 20% of this game yet, so 80+% of the game still remains, about 83%. So, yeah, lots of time. Oh, come on. Oh, dude, that was so close. Another interesting fact is that Paraguay was practically built by women. It's a pretty constant meme that the entire world was built by men and that women wouldn't have anything without men. It's kind of like a common incel meme. However, Paraguay differs in that fact, and women actually built much of the Paraguay we see today. And that's basically because when Paraguay was first started, there was unfortunately a war that would end up killing 90% of the Paraguay population, or of the men in Paraguay. And so only women were left, up to a point where in the late 1800s, at its peak, women outnumbered men 14-1. So there was 14 women for every one male in the country. So, if you want a girlfriend and you can't get one, maybe just build a time machine and go to 1890s Paraguay. I'm sure you'll be able to find a spouse then. But yeah, so women actually ran most of the countries and built a lot of the infrastructure that's still around in Paraguay today, and basically ran the entire economy for, a solid few decades. Or, well, even more than that, because it took obviously a few generations to recover. And then, though, as women had kids, they were still 50% men, 50% girls being born at that time. It's just that the population obviously slowed down. There's less men to have kids with. But today, it's 50% men, 50% women, total. Or it's like 50.1% men, actually. There's this slight edge for men. So men did make a comeback in Paraguay, but for, you know, about 70 to 100 years, women absolutely dominated the nation of Paraguay. Paraguay is the only nation on Earth that was actually named after a river and not vice versa. A lot of people think that the Paraguay River was named after Paraguay and that their government must have named that after becoming a nation. But no, it was actually named after the Paraguay River. So that's another pretty interesting fact. Also, about 90% of Paraguay's population lives strictly on the east side of it, where the land is fertile. Obviously, that dates back to like their farming ancestors, to where the other side was just dry forest, and so you couldn't crop anything. So there was no living off the land. And so today, 90% of people in Paraguay live in a very small area. And about 2.5 million out of their 7.5 million total population actually lives in the capital city on the coast of Paraguay. Goal! Paraguay scores their first goal as they try to claw back into this one for a late comeback so they don't have to take the loss. 49 seconds left. Let's see what can happen here. Food-wise, beef is actually extremely popular, and they have like how in American restaurants you sort of get like a loaf of bread for free when you go to restaurants. In Paraguay, it's actually pretty common to get like a beef appetizer for free, because that's how common beef is. Much like Argentina with their beef. It's all grass-fed, very well taken care of cows, and the beef there is extraordinarily cheap. They are I believe, the 8th biggest exporter on Earth of beef products. So, yeah, that's mainly what they eat is beef stuff. Oh, dude, we had a shot lined up with the last seconds there, but unfortunately, Paraguay will lose their first group stage game. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.